Hello, beautiful family. How are you all doing? Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. So, my wonderful family, today I just have this quick one to share with each and every one of you about what is going on right now. This is the response from Pastor Emeka Livingston, and I want you to listen to him. In fact, he is a great man. He is a great father indeed. He gives me every reason to call him father through this his response. So please listen to him and I'll be right back.
Fellow Biafrans, this is Emeka Livingston, and the title of this message is Listening to the Voice of Reason. Something happened quite recently, and you all heard how our spokesperson, Simon Ekpa, came out live in his broadcast and began to condemn the economic think tank group. Let me start first of all by telling you how ETTG started before I delve into the main issue. Now, my team will likely come up tomorrow to give further explanations so that you will understand what's going on. We are here for Biafra and to encourage Simon Ekpa so that he does not make mistakes, because already there is a mistake somewhere. So let me start by telling you about ETTG. I had a vision for an economic think tank group for Biafra, whereby I looked into Sudan when they had their independence, because they were not prepared for an economic project that could give people job and food. There was an implosion. So we are looking for a way to avoid this. That was why the dream, the vision for the ETTG came. We looked into Israel and saw that the Israelites were able to organize themselves and build their nation without fighting. So we saw it and said, well, we can do the same, and even learning from Israel to do better than Israel did. And so ETTG was formed. And when it was formed, there was an elderly man who used to listen to me on Facebook. He had been wanting to communicate with me for a long time, until the day I decided to communicate him. I told him my vision. The man said, wow, that is good. That Emeka, the man is about 77 years. He said, listen, you have a vision. I am going to give you every support you need, but you will drive it. The support is not financial support, though. No. It is psychological and moral support. I said, okay. He said that what you are venturing into is a big project, but I shall stand behind you. And so, we formed the ETTG, and I brought in people. And we started. Then I now took it to Simon Ekpa and told him, we have this project for Biafra, so that when Biafra comes, people will have something on ground, and Biafra can take on immediately, very well, without problems. He said, oh, that is wonderful. And I called Azuka and told her the same thing. They agreed. And Simon visited our platform and blessed us and said we should continue, that he likes it. We said, okay. And then as we progressed, we began to enlarge the platform. We wanted more people, because it is not something which just 7 people can do, or 6 people, or 5. We need as much as 11, 15 people with different ideas, because there were going to be committees and subcommittees that would go out all through the whole world, get information, bring Biafrans, let them bring ideas on what we shall do for our nation. And that committee needed people who were selfless, who are selfless. Most of my committee members are elderly people. They are only, the young people there is Kelechi, Ngozi Orabueze, Ruby. I think so. Those are the young people there, because they're about 50s. But all others, we are 60-something, to 70-something, to 80-something. So these are elderly people. So we have the vision and the policy that when you come into this committee, come in humility. Leave your bishop and doctor in your closet. Come here as you are. Nobody is above anybody who want to work for Biafra. And we are selfless. Like I've always told you, I am not interested in leadership in Biafra. I'm going back to preach the gospel. So I ran into Rose Allen, Pastor Rose Allen, because we are all in the Autopilot media. So we normally talk. So I told her we have this committee and I want to expand it. She said she has friends that are quality people that she's going to bring. I said, okay. That was how Ngozi Orabueze and her team came. You have Ngozi, Ruby, Emmanuel, Mwapuese. And then others. There was a Victor Adim in Britain. Imam Mwapuese in Switzerland. Ngozi and Ruby, United States. And then we had other additions like Ugo Wanguma in London. She's about 80-something years. We had Rose, we had Okbole Mwadioka in Germany. So we gathered. That man's name is Emmanuel Madwabum. Thank you. Thank you for reminding, for correcting me. The man's name is Emmanuel Madwabum. So before Ngozi will come in, I told her, I said, you are going to come in as observers. Why did I say so? I had invited certain people, and one or two of them misbehaved, and they left the platform. One of them, at the early stage, when we were having this problem, called me and said, man of God, take over the Biafran struggle. We are going to back you. Have organized people. I told him that I'm not going to do it, that God did not call me to do that. Then the person God called, you have seen me, Simon Epa, and I'm backing him up. The man was so angry with me, he left the platform because I refused to buy his ideas. Then the other one was our first secretary, who saw one of our members as having no quality content. But incidentally, that member, whom she derided and disregarded, contributed qualitatively in this platform, on this platform. Her name has been mentioned. Her name is Mrs. Adasayon Isukama. She's about 60-something, 67 years or almost 70 years. She's an elderly woman, a lawyer, many years standing, a woman of high regard and honor, a born-again Christian to the core. I love her and respect her so much. So that our secretary left. I'm not going to mention her name. And that was when Kelechi came in. Remember, when we had problem with Nsima and others, I told the youths in Biafra, young girls and young boys, come into the Autopilot media and take your position and disseminate information. That was people like Mazi Victor Uzaganobi. They came up and were writing. I brought in Kelechi into the Biafran IPOB media platform, Autopilot media platform. I brought in Dim Justice, Biafra Writers of Conscience. I brought in Juliet and Ibeze in my economic think tank group because there was some little squabbles in the Autopilot media. So I just left. I said, come into the platform and see what you can contribute, especially on security matters. And then we have this girl they call I've forgotten her name. She once complained that I abandoned her. She's a problem. Later on, she left. So these people came and began to. Thank you, Victor. I like this your comment. This issue should be resolved behind us. I know why I'm talking. I'm not going to raise any issue. Dear friends, no, we are marching on to our victory. I want you to know something. We're marching on to our victory. So we are not here to condemn anybody or use hard languages. If at the end of the day, when I finish talking and you realize that Simon Epa made a mistake in his broadcast or whatever he's thinking, you don't have to condemn him because he's a human being. God anointed Solomon, appeared to him twice, and yet Solomon at the end disappointed God. So you should not look at Simon Epa has a lot on his head to deal with, too many problems that come. So if he misses something somewhere, it's no reason why people should condemn him, because he can correct himself again and we move on. Nobody is infallible. So I want you to get it straight. So what happened? I told Ngozi, if you are going to come to this platform to join us, come first an observer with our team. And as you come in, listen to our analysis as we hold our meetings. If you are impressed and want to join us, then come up and join us in the economic think tank group. You're welcome. And so she brought her team, and when they came, they listened to us and they were very impressed, and they said they were going to be part of the thing. Now the man who started this thing with me is an elderly man, like I told you. I won't mention his name. He has been doing a lot for Biafra behind the door, so he doesn't want to be mentioned. I will not mention his name. It's a man I respect a lot. And so when Ngozi and others saw what we're doing, they decided to join us. Please, my heater is on. Let me pull off. My heater is on. Let me pull off my, outside is cold, inside is hot. And I put on my, normally there's a central heater and the room heater. I put on the room heater. Okay, so after they had joined us to look into what we're doing, they decided to be part of the economic think tank group. And people started presenting what they have. What was the intention of the think tank group? If you have anything you can bring that can create job in Biafra tomorrow, immediately bring it on the table. If you have connections, bring it. If you have discovered anything, bring it. We gather it together, submit it to Simon Epa, who will now submit it to Onyendu. when Onyendu comes out, so that Biafrans can see that we have been preparing from the background ahead of time for Biafra to take off very well, so that within 20 years we'll be a technological power. That was the whole intention. And we started moving. Somebody even gave us the idea of aquapuncture, what they call it, aquaponic system of agriculture. Different people came with marvelous ideas. Now, Ngozi, in the process, when she came into this platform, called me and said she wants me to connect her to Simon Ekpa. And I was a little bit, I was thinking of doing it actually, but maybe she felt I was delaying. So she now approached Kelechi to link her up to Simon Ekpa. I'm talking of Ngozi Orabueze. So I only got to know about her approaching Kelechi during this period that this thing happened. That it was not that Kelechi told me that Ngozi approached. I told her, okay, she also approached me to link her up to Simon Ekpa. I wasn't going to refuse, because if you have something to offer, why shouldn't I link you up to Simon Ekpa? You're a Biafran. I didn't know her then. I didn't know anything about Ngozi, and I never bothered to make investigations. So she stayed in the think tank group. Now, as we continue with our program, Simon will periodically visit our platform on my invitation, to come and tell the platform that I'm with you people. I told him that if you apportion people a responsibility, you should be there to know how they are faring, so that will encourage them. He said that is true. And he came up and visited with us and told us on one occasion, Simon came and said, please, 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 I want you people to draft a letter to nations in the world, particular nations, that we are going to put them on notice how we are going to fight for Biafra, even though some of them may not agree with us. It was my group that brought that letter, sent to the nations. Again, Simon Ekpa came and met us and said, please, form a constitution for Biafra, the ETTG, the Economic Think Tank Group. Simon came and met us and said, please, design a constitution for Biafra. And he told us that, we asked him, we said, but there was one Onyendu had. He said, yes, he would try and look for it and give to us, so that could set the ball rolling. We can look into it and see how we can fine tune it. Well, he never brought it because maybe he couldn't lay hands on it. So we decided with my team. Some people dropped out from that constitution process because they felt that it was too high a responsibility for them to do. It was very, very, it was something that you must be an expert in that field. And then, even one of us, Prince Sesem, wanted to withdraw. That guy is a wise man. I called him, I said, no. We are not going to sit down and withdraw another constitution. We are going to look at the constitution of other countries and then pick things and see where we can do our own from them, something that is better than those countries. So we studied the constitution of Rwanda, we studied the constitution of Ghana, we studied the constitution of Australia, we studied the American constitution, and that of Britain that is unwritten. The only constitution we didn't look into the Nigerian constitution because we don't believe in Nigeria. So my team went to work, and we were moving. At the time, we're doing it 2 times in a week, and we spend about 3 hours each time to discuss and bring out and fashion a good constitution that is homogeneous to Biafrans. And after about a period of 5 months or to 6 months, we're able to bring out a constitution for Biafra. But in the process, I had a very good team. People who have the interest of Biafra at heart, and they had their thinking caps on. Thinking caps. It was there that we designed the Biafran Code of Conduct. We also designed the Biafran National Pledge. It is the ETTG, which I formed, and I have my members, very dedicated and committed members. Kelechi is one of them. Now, this woman they call Adaza Uzo Ezukama contributed immensely to see to it that we have a constitution that has the spirit of trueness, faithfulness, something that is straightforward, because she's a lawyer by profession. We benefited immensely for a forthright and very fine mind of reasoning out things. That was how we formed Constitution for Biafra. Then again, Simon approached my team and said, the United Nations wants people that are looking for self-actualization or under oppression to send them documents, or maybe write something, letters with facts backing it up, so as to promote their advocacy before the United Nations. And they wanted these documents submitted by the 16th of January. My team, while we're doing the constitution work, while we're also doing the economic think tank program for Biafra, we went into business and crafted a well-founded letter with references and then handed it over to Simon. He replied to us and thanked us that he's very grateful. And the day we submitted code of conduct, he told the whole world the code of conduct of Biafra is good, and people are saying it. And the Biafra national pledge is there. He also mentioned the constitution. It is ETTG that formed it, that wrote the constitution at his request. When he says, some people are appealing to me to keep quiet. I don't know if I should keep quiet, because listen, I want you people to know that Simon could make mistake, but it's no reason why anybody should blame him. Regardless of what was said on Facebook, he can come tomorrow and change it. Say he's sorry to Biafrans and to us. No problem. That should just go. Simon Ekpa is a human being. A lot is going on in his mind, so he can make mistakes. So when he makes a comment against us, I am not here to come and condemn. No. That's wrong. God forbid. God forbid. But the point is, it's a mistake. Let's not forget that he's a human being. And let us remain behind him, because he has worked very, very hard for this Biafran struggle. So right now, there's an infiltration. Now, let me just conclude. I don't want to go further. That is the constitution. Now, what brought the problem? Ngozi Orabueze has a team called the G5. They sat down together. Kelechi was not aware of what they were doing. They sat down together and decided that they are going to produce a Biafran currency, and certain faces of certain people will appear on the currency. And Victor Adim called Kelechi and told him, please do the graphic preparation of the Biafran currency, and we have faces of people that be in the Biafran currency. And he told Kelechi, number 1, Ikemba Newi. Number 2, Nnamdi Kanu. Number 3, Simon Ekpa. Ikemba was to take $100 Biafran dollar. Nnamdi Kanu was to take $50 Biafran dollar. Simon Ekpa was to take $20 Biafran dollar. Madam Azuka was to take $10. Then Ngozi Orabueze and one other guy they called Oge, whom they said contributed a lot of money to the Biafran struggle, their name will appear in the Biafran currency. Somebody's telling me to stop. I'm not answering any phone call. Okay. Oh my God. Somebody called me and told me I can't talk now. I'm on Facebook. And so they sat down and discussed that these were the faces of the people that will appear in Biafran currency. So when they told Kelechi that he should prepare the graphic works so that they will submit it to Simon, because Simon was to have meeting with them, I think the following day or 2 days later, if I'm not mistaken. So Kelechi became very worried, very disturbed. He now called me and said, excuse me, sir, in fact, he called me, I think 2 or 3 times. I didn't pick because I was busy. He said, sir, I'm very, very disturbed. I said, what is the problem? He said that Victor called him, Pastor Victor called him and said, we are going to print faces of people in Biafran currency. And those faces are Odumegwu Ojukwu, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Simon Ekpa, Azuka, Ngozi Orabueze, Oge. I said, what? Are you crazy or are you kidding with me? Come, Prince, Biafrans are appealing to me to keep quiet. Gloria Sodipo is talking, is begging. Hadi Nkama is begging. Please, should I stop? Because you're a member of my board. Kelechi, Prince, Elder Zion, I need your advice. Should I? I'm not speaking. We tried to speak to Simon. Somebody's asking me why did we sent him a letter. What we did? Listen, okay, let me come out and tell you people. So when they told us this thing, we sat down together. Kelechi, myself, Prince, SM, Elder Zion, and Gaddafi. We sat together and said, what is this? How can they print their which face? That the only reason why we'll allow Onyendu's face to appear in our currency is because Onyendu is like a man that has died 2 times and has resurrected. So he has paid the price and proved himself that he can. But let me tell you, we're all talking that Onyendu, if you call Onyendu to put his name on Biafra currency, Onyendu will refuse. I know him very well. He will never agree because Onyendu will ask you question. Where is Colonel Onwatuegu? Where is Dr. Michael Opara? Where is Akani Biam, who willfully relinquished his medallion and gave back to the Queen as a knight because they were maltreating Biafrans? Where is Madam Oyibo Dinamadu and others that went and saw the Queen on behalf of Biafran children that were dying during the war and they refused to listen to them? When is an American student who set himself on fire because of Biafra? He's an American. The Beatles, one of the Beatles member, John Lennon, I think so, they were the biggest musical group in the late 60s, early 60s and late 60s. They gave them medals. But because of the wicked treatment against the Biafrans, John Lennon had to surrender his medal back to Britain and told the Queen, I am not going to take this medal. You are maltreating Biafrans. What about Professor Eyo Eta, Sambono Ejike? What about General Philip Effiong? Oh, this man, what's his name? Okokondem, the Biafran war propagandist. What about Frank Opigo, who told Ikemba that the name of the new nation is Biafra? What about Colonel Achuzia? Ben Bulie, also, I don't know what he did, you know, the ones whom I know they did good things. What about all these great Biafrans who sacrificed their lives and died, that you are going to bring in our currency the names of Simon, Azuka, Ngozi Rabweze? Jesus. I told Kelechi immediately, put the call through to Simon, let them reach out to us. We want to have a discussion. And when Simon came on the platform, I presented it to him. I said, look at what is happening. I also presented to Simon that ETTG has finished their job. I've submitted everything to you. We now have another group called the Think Tank Group. And the Think Tank Group is geared towards collecting all the information of all the various departments and committees that will be formed, because we set up a committee to bring in people to apply for position. They should submit their resume. And I know a lot of them, which I recommended. And these are I'm very good in discovering talents in people. I'm very good at that. And when I get it, I bring people, I put them there. Okay, the guy that set himself on fire was a Colombian. When they were killing the Biafrans. Okay, somebody said, what about those, the one that composed the Biafran song? Fine. What about Akanibiam? What about Sambakwe? Michael Obara? These are great Biafrans. You did not think of putting their names in the note. It is Simon Epa, Azuka. I don't have problem with Simon is my friend. Azuka, I'm very close to Azuka. But the truth be told, none of them qualify for such a position to put the Ngozi Orabweze's picture was to appear in our Biafran currency, even that of Oge. Yes, the man's name is Bruce Mayrock, who burnt himself and died because of Biafra. You don't remember those? So when Simon came, I told him that TTG is to collect all the information from the various departments and branches. This should be a central coalition committee. We'll look into what they have done and see how we can put square pegs in square holes, and then send them to Simon, who will onwardly transfer it to Onyendu. Because he came out, listen, when we told Simon that, we decided now to do an investigation of who Ngozi Orabweze is. While we're discussing with Simon, we told him, listen, you have done a very good job in Biafra. I don't want anybody to tarnish your image. Mrs. Ezukama, when the thing came to Simon on our platform, the first thing Simon did was he was indicting Kelechi, very angry with him, that why did Kelechi carry out an information from another platform to bring to this platform, that it is wrong. Kelechi, Simon said it was the advisory committee. Kelechi said no, this information did not come from the advisory committee. It came from the what they call it, G5. So Kelechi said that was what they told me, Kelechi, and I felt uncomfortable. The only person I know I can tell who can boldly look into this thing and call you and discuss with you is Pastor Livingston, because I know he would like to stand for the truth. So that was why we called Simon. Simon indicted Kelechi. I had to come into Kelechi's defense to tell him no, what he did was the right thing for Biafra and for you, so that people don't mess you up in your good works. Madam Ezukama wanted now to make a comment in respect to the woman Ngozi Orabweze. Even though she didn't call her name, she wanted to. Simon hushed her up and was defending Ngozi to the extent that his comment to Madam Ezukama was rude. So I called him. I told him, no, don't talk to this woman like this. That I have worked with this woman. I know her. And so that was what happened. He apologized to Madam Ezukama, and when we discussed with him the following day, I think again we called him again and discussed either that same day, and we made him understand that we love him and we want something good to happen. He said he was going back to that team, and because I asked him, are you aware of this thing? He said no. That's what he told me first. I said fine, since you are not aware, go back to that team and tell them that they don't have the power, they don't have the audacity to determine who appears in Biafran currency. And even if they should, it shouldn't be their faces. We have great heroes. Madam Ezukama gave me a list of heroes for Biafra. Look, by tomorrow, maybe my team might come out to speak more. But I want you to know something. Nnamdi Kanu said, we have a formidable area of enemies, both within and without. So a person like Ngozi Orebeze, it is not someone, listen to me. Someone could make a mistake because a human being, he has a lot on his head. He's going here, he's going here, he's going here. So he could flip. He's a human being. But Ngozi Orebeze is a calculated agent to infiltrate the Biafran struggle. We saw it. And therefore we had to write Simon a letter telling him, please, get to us, let us discuss. That for this body to have even contemplated putting pictures of people, that even Onyendu had told us that there is a currency we are going to use, he suggested. But he said that is subject to the Biafran people approving it. That's what Onyendu said. And I told Simon, that's how Onyendu behaves. So this is a very big thing. Even if you are going to run a program, it should be all-inclusive. What about the people in the region that we call minorities? If they are not adequately represented, they have this impression that it's an evil thing. So it's wrong. So when we began to make investigations about Ngozi Orebeze, we discovered that Ngozi Orebeze had formed a political party in Nigeria. One, Ngozi Orebeze is sponsoring a political candidate in the north of Fulani, the northern part of Nigeria, and he's going to run for House of Assembly. Ngozi Orebeze is with National Council of Women Societies in Nigeria. Ngozi Orebeze is a spy and implantation. No wonder she wanted to go through me. Even Pastor Victor told me personally that in recruiting people, Ngozi is so overbearing that she just says something, she's not there to coordinate. He's been working hard and suffering. I told him DCK is the stress you have to run for Biafra. And let me tell you, Biafrans, 80% of the members that constitute the Biafran Advisory Council and the G5 are members of my team. But I didn't know they were members of the Advisory Council or G5. I didn't know. I didn't even know that Kelechi was a member until during this period. And I didn't care because I have done my own job. I'm satisfied with it. I don't want, in fact, the last meeting we had with Simon, I told him I have pulled out of Autopilot media team. Why? I am tired of too many meetings. That most of those guys are younger than myself. I'm trying to walk my mind through things that concerns me. That I have told them to come. Young men have entered the Autopilot media team. It is time for me to give way. Let young men do their job. I cannot be there with them. Ask Autopilot media team. And I don't come in all their meetings. Because I told them from the first day we were inaugurated, I said, I may not be with you always. So I told, someone said, but we need you now. I said, I know that anytime you make a broadcast, I'll do a follow-up. But you see, the Autopilot meeting, I don't get power. I told him that I'm leaving the media team. So the media team are my friends. I didn't leave them out of disrespect. And so that was what happened. So when we discovered who Ngozi Orebeze is, in fact, the information is on the social media. One woman called Halima, who is gunning for the House of Representatives, Ngozi advertised her on the platform, on her platform, advertised her that they should vote for her. So you cannot be a politician in Nigeria and also a Biafran operating in a very sensitive area in the Biafran struggle. I, Emeka Livingston, saw it. I didn't like it. Okay, Harry Ambrose says not 80%, but 90% of those that constitute the advisory committee and the G5 comes from my team. That is to tell you that I have a very formidable team. I have very intelligent people. I coordinated them very well by God's grace. We respect ourselves. I don't superimpose myself on any member of my team. If I bring an idea, it's not good, I drop it, I take another person's own. That's how we work as a leader. Call Princess M, call Ada Azukama, call Harry and tell him. They will tell you the truth. Call Lokbole, Mwadioka, he will tell you. And so, when we discovered who Ngozi was, we sent a letter to Simon, a private letter. We did not even copy Azoka. We did not even tell the Autopilot media team. We kept it a secret. We told Simon, get back to us. Let us, that we are not against you, that we are trying to protect you. But be assured also that we are going to stand with you and help you navigate these murky waters without raising dust. So that Biafrans will not know what is happening and then we'll get our independence. That's what we told Simon in the letter, if you read it. I respect people. So we went and began to pray that he will listen to us and get back to us. The next thing we heard was that Kelechi had been removed from the advisory council after he met with them. And when Kelechi was removed, he reported to me, I said, you don't need the advisory council. Biafra is more important than the advisory council. What we are saying now is we want to remove moles in our midst. So that council should be dissolved. We wrote to Simon that council should be dissolved. It's treason against Biafra. Onyendu is still in detention and he will come out. If we are going to deal on sensitive issues like currency, we should tell Onyendu to do it. And I told them that for the record, neither Simon Azoka or Ngozi Orebeze are our members are qualified to have their pictures in a currency. So they went back and suspended the currency thing. And Simon suggested to us that we go for cryptocurrency. We said, okay, fine. But when we discovered who Mongozo Rabeze is, we now sent a letter to Simon, hoping that he'll come to us. And now called Gaddafi. Somebody told me that I brought Gaddafi into this thing, that I should be very careful the thing doesn't go out to the public. So I called Gaddafi. I said, please, this is secret. Don't even tell Asuka. You are close to her, I'm close to her. Let it be between Simon and us. So that if the thing gets too much, he can call Asuka's attention. Then we can work together as a team and kill this thing so that we move on. That this girl is an infiltration. You know what Gaddafi told me? Gaddafi said, it is not him that the problem, the challenge now is to see Simon's capacity to look into this thing and keep quiet and don't mention it so that the outside world will not hear. I said he will not mention it. Gaddafi said, no, you don't know Simon, you mention it. I said, let's. Then later on again, Gaddafi, as we're talking, he said, you see this letter we wrote? I said, yes. Gaddafi said, Simon is going to make broadcast of it. He's broadcasting now. I said, that's not going to happen. We wrote him this letter privately. He has to answer us privately. Lo and behold, he went and announced it to people. That was like, you people didn't know what was happening. We were praying. Look, when Simon was not well last year, I'm just opening it for the first time, last 3 weeks, we formed a prayer team, 5 of us. We were praying, asking God for Simon's life. We prayed, and as we're praying, God was revealing things to us that is okay. Even Ada Izukama, whose husband was not okay, we put him into prayer, and it's okay now. So, why should we think evil against a man whom God has raised for us to get our freedom? If I do that, God will punish me into everlasting hell forever and ever. In Jesus' name, it will be covered. I will never see the light. In fact, I will die before my time. In fact, I should die tonight, not live till tomorrow. Why would I speak against Simon? No, we're not against him. We are against Ngozi Rabweze, who is a spy. Oge, his name was to appear. In fact, Kelechi went back and was asking Victor, what is the criteria for somebody's face to appear in a currency? And Victor Adim said that Ngozi has made a lot of sacrifice for Biafra and Oge because they contributed money. And then Prince SM was saying that the main people who are true Biafrans are those who contribute 100, 500, 1,000. Those are true Biafrans. You see these people that come with big money? That the moment it was mentioned that we need people who give us certain amount of money, the Nigerian government saw that we need money. They sent people to come and infiltrate us. Go and Google it. Ngozi Rabweze is a politician. Go and Google it. Why should she be in sensitive position in the Biafran struggle? She wanted me to connect with Simon. God didn't allow me. I would have, but I don't know what restricted me. Because this struggle, our lives, we've staked our lives, we've staked our reputation. It's our nation. And God raised Simon up and gave him wisdom, excellent wisdom to analyze people. You have what he talked about what's his name? Odife today. You know that he has something, but he can make mistakes. So I called him to talk to him like a father. If someone is about 37 years, I'm 63 now by July, almost twice his age. Almost, not entirely. So I talked to him as a father. I respect him a lot. So that his reputation will not be tarnished by this evil implantation from the pit of hell that Nigerians have sent. And I wrote him a letter personally with my team, signed our signatures. All he needed to do was to get back to us. Or if he felt insulted, he should have called Azuka's attention. So Azuka will call me. Azuka just called me now. I told her I can't answer him live on this thing. Because Azuka is somebody whom, if you talk to, she will listen. And she will listen with you very much. Very, 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 very. But as this thing has happened, there's a problem. And so he went and told the whole world. And was there to tarnish our image. Me, who is for Biafra. Who loves Simon with all my heart. Madam Ezukama loves Simon. So she's always praying for him. Every time she's praying for this man at home, he comes and says that God will give this man wisdom. That she wants to see him in Biafra and shake hands with him. Why will we do evil? He should have contacted us. That was why we wrote him a personal letter. Why did he come to tell you? I'm compelled to speak because my team, we sat down and discussed it. So what do we do? Do we keep quiet? Simon Ekpa wields a lot of influence in Biafra. And I want to tell you the truth. He's doing a good job. Don't tie this conspiracy to Simon Ekpa. Don't tie it to him. Anybody can make mistakes. Anybody can influence. No matter how anointed a man of God is, I've said it here many times, he is not Jesus Christ. So if it is with pastors, no matter how anointed they are not Jesus, they make mistakes. How much less somebody like Simon Ekpa, who is not a man of God? I mean, great men of God like Benny Hinn, that all of us respected. He divorced his wife. A person like Creflo Dollar came out and confessed that he has been cheating people taking tithe for 24 years, he repented. So if they can make mistakes, why wouldn't Simon make mistakes? I understand the point. That is why I am telling you, Biafrans, don't make the mistake of doubting or delaying this project. It's a mistake he has made. He can make mistakes. You can make mistakes. I can make mistakes. Nobody is perfect. Everybody must stand behind him and tell him that he should listen to the voice of reason so that Biafra can move forward. Because we have 20-something days to go and we are working on it by faith. The only thing that he was penetrated, he was under pressure. We need money to execute the war. People were not coming forth. The little we were giving, how I want that 200, 300, 500. If you see the enormous responsibility Simon and Azuka has in their hands for Biafrans, you will feel sorry for them. So if along the line Simon tripped, he tripped because he's a human being. And therefore I, Emeka Livingston, by the mercy of God, will not stand and condemn Simon. It's a mistake. Didn't Peter deny Jesus 3 times? I mean, don't forget. 3 solid times. Peter, who is the head of the apostle, denied Jesus. Jesus did not because of that kill Peter. So I will not because of that kill Simon. Peter swore that I don't know this man. Just like Simon said today, he doesn't know me. He only said his own only once. Peter said his own thrice. Simon said his own once against an ordinary human being like me. Peter said his own thrice against the Lord Jesus Christ. And Jesus did not send him to hell. He still made him the apostle, the head of the apostle. So Simon is still leading this pack. Bear it in mind. Don't go and allow these people that will carry their nonsense message. We may have misunderstanding in the house. The Bible says in a great man's house, there are not only vessels of gold and silver and brass, there are vessels of wood and clay, some to honor, some to dishonor. We understand in a great man's house, like a house where you have too many people, because it's one of those things. He has to be weeded out. It's a mistake. After all, Jesus appointed Judas, who later on betrayed him. Is that not so? Did Jesus stop being the Lord of our lives? No. It was Judas that committed suicide. Because he should be thrown out of the Biafran struggle. It is not Simon Ekpa. He has come a long way with a great job he has done. So we are not going to fight amongst ourselves. He erred by not consulting. He did not ask wisely. What he has just done now has been in the Bible. When Solomon died, his son Rehoboam was to take over the realms of the government. This was Solomon that God appeared to twice, the richest king. And the son went and met the elders of Israel. The elders of Israel called him, he came. And they told him, your father's hand was very heavy upon us. Please, lighten the hand so that we can be your servants forever. He said, okay, I've heard you. Instead of listening to the elders, he went and consulted with his age mates. The age mate told him, don't mind those stupid elders. Go and tell them that your father's finger will be greater than your father's waist. And when he went and they told him, he came and answered the children of Israel harshly. That was where the kingdom of Israel was divided into 2. We are not advocating that. What I'm telling you is that the people that constitute that G5 and the what they call him, advisory council, they have committed, because the same people of G5 and the advisory council, they proposed that currency phase. They have committed treason against Biafra. They are evil people. I said it openly to Simon. The guy they call Kelechi, remind me that man's name. Is it Mwabueze? Is it Emmanuel Mwabueze? Madrabum, what's his name? Emmanuel. Let me tell you a story about him. He was in the ETTG and we're having discussion, economic discussion. You see, I'm a pastor. I have a strong voice. When I'm talking here, people hear me from afar. Sometimes when I go to preach, I don't even need microphone. When I'm shouting, the thing is hearing people's ears. So we're discussing on the platform. I don't know what happened because I never noticed. But for some time, I did not see this man on the platform. His name is Emmanuel Madrabum. Emmanuel Madrabum. I think he's also in the advisory committee. So he stopped coming to the platform. And I asked Kelechi what's going on. Kelechi told me that the man stopped coming because he felt I insulted him. I said, me say yes. He said, where? I put the man on call immediately while Kelechi was there to apologize to him so that he'll come back to the platform. We have something great to do for Biafra. The man didn't pick. The next time when I called him, this man, he picked the phone, refused to. I said, hello, sir. He refused to talk. The next thing this man did was to go up there to go and talk against me. I didn't even know. To Simon, I didn't know. Until one day when the media team were talking, Simon just came out of his mouth that I sacked that man from my board. I told him, nobody has any right to sack anybody from the ETTG. I don't even have the right. That if I misbehave, the board will sit down and discuss and remove me. The same applies to every other person. And Kelechi begged Madrabum to come back. He said, no, he had better things to do. He went up. That's fine. I wonder why I should be jealous of him. I'm 63 years old. I know my calling. I tell you, I'm not interested in, even if Onyendu calls me today and says, Emeka Livingston, I want you to hold this post. I say, I'm sorry, sir. Even though it's younger to me, I say, I'm sorry, sir. Because, Onyendu, I say, I'm not going to do it. Because God called me to preach the gospel. I fought for Biafra because I want our freedom. It is this Imam Adwabum. He's in the advisory committee. He's among those that created the G5 to carry out their secret evil agenda, which I am sure Azuka does not know. Because if she had known, I mean, she would have challenged them. But if she knows, well, it's only God that will judge her in this thing. Because this is our Biafran struggle. We have to be true, sincere, faithful, honest. Go on. In fact, I'm going to stop so far. Let me respect Madam Azuka. She said it's okay. I'm going to stop so far. After Simon Ekpa, she's the next person in command. And I have a lot of respect for her. Even though I'd expected Simon Ekpa to consult with Azuka than Ngozi, because Azuka is the second in command of this Biafran struggle. She needs to matter. She deals with the commanders. She's the second in command in this struggle. If you can't get Simon, get to Azuka. That's what I do when people contact me. So that's the person he would have met. He erred. He was not discreet. And that is youthfulness. You see it manifesting. Shall we condemn our brother? No. We acknowledge that he has made mistakes. And I'm not going to carry it further. I just pray he understands. And comes out and tell Biafrans, it's a mistake. And it's a mistake. And there's a mistake. There's nothing you can do about it. I mean, you Biafrans, all of us. It's a mistake. Or it's not a mistake. It's not a mistake. I'm going to show. I'm not America. My wife is a beautiful woman. I'm not Who doesn't make mistakes? Say the truth. Let God deliver you from your wickedness and sin. Who doesn't make mistakes? That's why we will not stand against him. He's leading us. I'm going to stop so far because I saw where Madam Azuka said I should stop so far. God bless you, dear friends. If there's any need to talk further, well, I hope there will be no need. I hope we'll deal with this issue. Let it end there. But only one day, Biafra. Don't for any reason feel discouraged. It means the Bible says if you fail in the day of adversity, your strength is small. Man, you will free from here. You're not a human being. You're a failure. If adversity comes, your faith fails, your strength is very small. It is in adversity that we become strong. We now know our position. We take our decision. We stand very well. We have to stand in support of those who are leading us. Whether you like it or not, leadership. As the spokesperson of Biafra, is leading the pack. Speaking, all of us are under him, behind him. After him, the next person is Azuka. And that was why some time ago I spoke here that I don't like the way people were carrying Azuka's name. That I met Simon and discussed this issue of Ifeombiko before Simon. I met Azuka and asked her, she told me. And what Simon was saying was something Azuka was saying. And I called Ifeombiko and I told them, you people should go and humble yourself to Azuka. If you feel she's not doing fine, you people should organize. As you voted her in, vote her out. But for you to start rebelling and talking, me I no support them. Because I'm a child of God. I worked under people in the ministry. So my style of administration may not be your own, but the point is we are pursuing the same goal and objective. Ask Azuka. I have a lot of respect for her. Up to tomorrow morning. And the same thing with Simon. I have a lot of respect for him. He's my brother and he's like my son. So if you think that maybe we are going to fight, no, we're not going to fight. Let him just be seeing this decision change. He should have actually contacted us before making it public. And we wrote him a secret letter. I made a mistake there. God bless you, dear friends. I'm going to end so far. I hope there will be no need for my team to come out tomorrow because they have lots of information which I don't have. Let it just end like this and let's move on. Whatever DOS people talk, don't mind them. Forget about it. The point is that we have effectively removed Ngozi Oravweze. We have removed Victor Adim, the co-conspirator. We have removed Emma. What's his name? Emma what? I keep forgetting that guy's name. We have removed him. All those people that constitute the advisory committee, who is jealous of them, who is envious. For what? My team, they are members of my team that produced the constitution. They are members of my team that brought the Biafran National Pledge. They are members of my team that brought the Biafran Code of Conduct. They are members of my team that wrote letters to the United Nations. They are members of my team that wrote letters to other countries. Right now, I'm working on something that in case Biafra comes tomorrow, we need a travel document. And maybe if we're not able to print the passport now because it should be signed by relevant authorities, we may have a travel document embossed so that it can be sent to all the embassies in case Biafra comes. Any Biafran that comes to any airline to take a flight to travel, they will.
So that brings us to the end of this update. This is the response from Pastor Emeka Livingston to Mazi Simon Ekpa. Please do well to share this video until he gets to him. Thank you so much everyone for watching. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. See you when I